Last time on Tides of Change. The Centauri attack fleet is making a hasty retreat. The island that we're heading to has a shrine that the moon gods can listen through.
Oh, hello, finally. Just give me a moment. And...
Oh, I'm dying. This is so cute.
From me, I offer the most powerful gift of all, to unveil the dark designs of those who architects. I must go. Take our gifts and protect our child. I'm gonna see my friend now. Maybe we will meet again at Queen Rest. Or not. Bye-bye for now.
Immediately jumps off of the cliff. Welcome back to another episode of Tides of Change. Each video takes a dozen hours to bring to life, so it would really help the channel if you could leave a like. And remember, members get early access to the next episode. Now then, back to the story. To be honest, after you guys got the blessing from the Jinn, your power levels went up dramatically. So I was a bit scared to give you guys more power boosts, but I decided that you guys have been role-playing so well recently that I wanted to give you guys a less combat-specific reward. Everybody will get +1 to their intelligence and charisma, and you can also get +1 to any mental and social. So 1 in mental and 1 in social. So you can pick which ones you want. Righty. So then, everybody's gotten their stat bonuses. Okay, so you guys have just completed a meeting with a god. The Moonchild leapt off of the shrine and pranced along the water without suffering any consequences such as sinking. They have basically run off into the distance. You guys are still at the top of the shrine. You are joined by just Jareth, Teresa, and Hadrian, and Roderick, and the rest of the crews all stayed behind. Hyacinth, you heard the voice coming from the needle, Titania's voice speaking to you, but it's gone silent now because their last words, their last warning was, "I must go before he notices. Please hurry."
She's hugging the needle right now. She's like, she spoke to me. She spoke to me. She's starting to think, maybe I'm her savior or something. I don't know. No, she doesn't think that. She thinks more of like, what does she want? What's going on? What's going on?
Spira, give me an intelligence roll quickly. Also, Hyacinth, how much do you want to share with the group about Titania?
Titania, I'll share whatever. She's still proud of her Fae culture.
Does anybody here actually want to ask Hyacinth what is going on with the voice coming out of the
Why
needle?
did your needle talk? What is going on?
Yeah, it was so loud that everyone heard it. Like everybody heard it.
And who is this Titania fellow?
I don't know what's wrong. What's with this needle? But that was my queen. That was my queen's voice.
Spira, give me
Your
the
queen
intelligence
is in
roll.
the needle?
Spira is the only one from Verdantia.
Okay.
Whereas Nyx and Solaris would have no clue. Oh my god! No! No!
As I said, I either have insane luck or I
Oh my
no
gosh,
luck.
that 20.
That's what.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I'm gonna make it that Spira was very obsessed with Fae stories as a child. So you heard lots and lots of fairy tales.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And you know that Queen Titania was the first and last Fae Queen. So when the curse of humanity happened thousands of years ago, the Fae Titania was the first Fae from the humanoid form, rather than the butterfly and moth forms, to rise to the position of queen, but something happened. You're not sure what, because the stories don't want to talk about it. The capital circle, the biggest circle in the world, the biggest Fae circle, is known as Queen's Rest, which is also on Verdantia, but it's deep in the forest, so you've never been there. All you know is that Titania is a big deal, and this was also thousands of years ago. Hyacinth, you can see Spira's eyes sparkling when you mentioned Titania's name.
You know our queen? You know the queen? You know about her?
I have heard some stories, yeah. Like she was the last Fae Queen, but that was like thousands of years ago. How is she in your needle?
Hyacinth looks down at the needle. You think she's... No, there's no way she is. She's our queen. You see, a demon took her. A demon took her, and they stole her powers. Fae have a way to create contracts. And now devils have a way to create contracts because they stole our queen, and now they use her power. They use her as a conduit or as a conductor.
Wait. Hyacinth, do you want me to briefly explain the full story from the Fae's perspective?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Hyacinth retells the story of Queen Titania, the first and last Fae Queen. Her story is deeply connected to that of Lucian, the god of murder, betrayal, and corruption. The one who these 5 devils in this campaign all worship, except for one, the rebel. Now, Lucian, the story goes that when the Great Change happened, the Fae were deeply, deeply upset because the Fae's lifestyle is very free. It's very in the moment. And to be forced into the humanoid forms and to exist with the view and experiences of the world with a human twist didn't sit well with the Fae at first. And Titania was offered help by Lucian, one of the devils at the time. And because the Fae were too trusting, the story goes that Lucian ripped her wings off and stole the contract magic of the Fae, and that he ascended to godhood through this betrayal and manipulation of other species, and that he gifts the stolen contract magic to other devils. So the contract magic that devils use isn't actually their true primal ability. It's a stolen ability from the Fae. Very potent one. Yeah, all Fae experience an unexplainable instinctual rage upon meeting a devil or somebody that has something to do with devils. Anything to do with devils will set off a Fae. Basically, they want their queen back. They are not happy.
Understandable.
I mean, their queen is gone.
That's why Hyacinth is like, oh my god, my queen.
Oh, that was the other thing from last week. The moon child is heading to Queen's Rest as well.
Hyacinth wants to go, but she's like, I have duties.
Yeah, they
Can't believe one of my guts told me to watch her daughter.
You guys are reaching like levels of power where like higher beings are starting to take notice, where they're like, is this like the legendary 3 friends from 1,000 years ago? Are we really gonna have to do this again?
Yeah, this could be a good thing or a bad thing or both.
Another Makoto being
Oh yeah, what is up with this family tree? Always causing problems.
They're like, oh my god, it's them again.
This family is not allowed to leave the Celestial Den ever again.
They're gonna start trying to keep all the Makotos in the Celestial Den.
So you guys start to head back down from the shrine. It is nighttime now. You guys were there. You had your meeting with them at sunset. Don't worry, it's not a full moon. I'm not that evil. But yeah, you guys are going down. It is nighttime. As you head down, you see the little hut at the base of the hill where that human prophet lives. He's waving towards you guys as you're heading back down. What would you guys like to do?
Of course, we're gonna go over.
Okay.
Spira wants to get over.
We're gonna go over.
All right.
Just still thinking about what we just witnessed.
As you head down, he asks you, and he's like, "So, how was the Moonchild? I never got to meet them myself, but I knew they were there."
New?
Yeah, he's a prophet, so he has visions and stuff. It's just that they're not entirely reliable. Not always.
Moonchild is Moonchild. They jumped off the cliff.
That's what I
ran
thought.
across the water.
I couldn't see what else was happening there. I just know that these things were meant to happen and that this is a very crucial moment for all of you. I warned you before that your futures are very dark, but they're not set. So you still can swim in the river of fate and make your choices. It's not set in stone for you. It's just that the current is being pulled in dark directions. Though, noticing you guys coming back down, things seem to be significantly lighter with whatever happened up there. He gives you a knowing look like something divine has it caused some intervention here on your fates, but he doesn't press questions on that. He presents 6 boxes before you. He says, "This was the meal that I prepared before. I knew that you guys would need a meal, but I just didn't know when. So when I offered it to you at the start, I was a bit surprised that you turned it down. But there are children to save after all. So I thought I'd pack you guys a lunch." As he basically hands you guys the boxes full of food that he prepared.
Children, huh?
I've seen you guys for a while. I knew you were coming here, but my role in this story has come to an end. I'm going to be living out what few years I have left taking care of this shrine. as a way of thanking the goddesses.
Can I do a spirit sense?
Yes, you can. You rolled 18. Okay, so yeah, you sense the spirits around him, and it's exactly the same as before when you guys did the spirit sense when you first arrived. The spirits around him seem to avoid him, like the wild spirits in the air and the ground. They seem to curve around him. They don't like, you get the impression that the spirits don't like him. And this is a consequence that humans have because humans are an invasive species. And because the curse of humanity, pretty much every species considers humans a cause of a curse, which basically means that there's a lot of negative energy directed towards humans. So humans have it rough. The wild spirits don't like them, but conveniently, this does give them higher resistance to magic than most other species because the magic literally doesn't want anything to do with them. Like, brother,
Ew, human. Dear human.
Oh god, it's a human. What the hell? What are we even doing here? And then they just leave.
Pretty much. Stinky human.
Stinky.
Yeah, but humans still generate their own spirits. They're able to glimpse moments of the future. And their best skilled in this are known as prophets, but he's an exiled prophet. Yeah, he apparently one of his visions wasn't entirely true, and the people of higher authority than him exiled him for it, basically. I'm not going to get into the details of humanity. If you guys want to go to Mythica someday, we can, but not today. Because again, there is a child to save. He presents all of you the boxes. Oh yeah. Hyacinth, what do you want to do with this knowledge when you notice the spirits are like this? You don't sense anything like evil or like horrible about him. It's just that it's strange to see the spirits floating around him like he's a fire. You know, that the heat is pushing the air around.
So we just kind of wanted to check to make sure that he wasn't the demon.
Ah, the devil. No.
The devil.
He's just an exile.
If he was who we say he is, or...
Everybody else can give me an insight roll if you'd like to try and like detect if he's lying or being manipulative or anything like that. You know, his phrasing of words and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be intelligence plus insight if you have it.
Yay, now I have intelligence.
Yeah, I was gonna say, since you took alchemy as your magic system, investing in intelligence and alchemy seems kind of important. You know, with not losing your arm and leg or a party member.
Mm-hmm.
18, okay.
So it's intelligence plus
insight.
The social insight.
Skill, it should be a skill insight.
Yeah, I have insight and social. Is that the same?
Oh, social, get +2 to that as well. So it'll be +7, and then your intelligence is another +2, so 9, +9. You don't pick up anything malicious in what he's been doing. You can see that the way that he lives and the way that he dresses, and more importantly, the way he reacted when he saw the book and he saw Jareth and Sorisa, that you can tell that he's not trying to push you guys in any direction. He's just trying to do his duty. He hasn't said anything or tried to push you in any direction or anything like that. So he basically gave you guys a meal so that you can head immediately towards your objective. He gave you the morale boosting information that he said that, you know, when you first arrived, your fates were murky and dark, and that it's been lightened somewhat by whatever you guys got to do up there at the shrine. You can take that as a clue that the DM is going to be a little bit kinder. just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, so by the way, Truffles, the Ember Lion, is inside the unicorn child's shadow. So he's keeping watch as the guard lion, the watch lion. And the next time somebody tries to steal this kid, they're in for a nasty surprise. So,
I like that kind of surprise.
Spira.
yeah. You guys get back to the boats. Is there anything you want to do on this island before going to the boats? Just asking.
Spira wants to take a bit of a flight, but she can do that kind of easily at the same time. So.
Fair.
But she really wants to feel how the winds feel.
Oh, I see, because there's a ley line running through this island. Right, yes. We can definitely do that once they set sail. But you notice that Hadrian is calling you guys to come aboard. You notice that Jackal, Sorisa, and Jareth, and Roderick are all on the Echo. and they seem to be waiting for you guys to do whatever it is that you needed to do on there, but they've gathered together for a meeting. So I assume that the whole party wants to go because everybody's quiet.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys go to Hadrian's office, which is next to the unicorn child's room. You know, it's the safest place now, basically, like strict security. Hadrian says, there's a bit of a problem. What do you guys want to tell them here about what happened on the island? Jareth was with you, but he's being quiet. He isn't speaking up. Sarisa is not really talking to Jareth, so she's not interested. Roderick looks at you guys curiously, like, so how did it go? Because, you know, he worships Gavon, the god of war and harvest. He's just like, so how was it visiting another shrine? Is what he's like looking at just to see how it goes. But yeah, it's up to you guys.
Hyannis wasn't going to say anything about the needle.
Sure, that makes sense, especially after you guys got that warning. It's like...
Exactly. She's like, no.
Yeah. So how much do you guys want to share? Nothing?
Hyannis does not speak up.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So Hadrian says...
We just blankly stare at him.
I maybe shoot a glaring stare towards Roderick to just shut up, but I don't think I would say anything else about what happened.
Hyannis sheepishly just scratches the back of her head.
Roderick, please, he blushes. He rolled a 1 on his composure.
Oh.
You shoot him a stare and he's just like, ooh.
He goes, oh no, don't punish me, ooh, and then
I swear this guy is... Oh.
He's comedy in the dice. It's just...
Hadrian says that we have a little bit of a problem, right? There's 2 issues. From what you guys said before, that these agents that were delivering the children have been taking them to the Abyssal City. Is that correct?
yes.
Then, well, 3 problems actually. 1, it's at the bottom of the ocean. Not many of us here can deal with that easily. He looks at Solaris. You can, but most of us here can't really travel to the bottom of the ocean. The second issue is that even if we set sail for Vaer'Ghul, we will be right above the city. They'll be expecting a response. The fact that the Kelpie came back to attack means that they know not just where we are, but where we're going. If we continue on this path, we'll be walking straight into a trap. And as much as I'm a thrope, I'm not a big fan of being led around on a leash.
Unlike Roderick.
Wow. Jackal laughs when he hears this, and he's like, well, the hunter never expects the prey to spring a trap on purpose, so we could prepare a surprise for them in turn. So if we know it's a trap, we can ready ourselves for when we spring it. Solaris, give me an intelligence roll. Wow, it's coming in useful today.
Yay! A +2.
You can add insights to that as well.
Okay, then it's an 18.
Solaris, you remember that Vaer'Ghul is also a military city, just like Thal Azza from where you left in your prologue story. So you would know that there are hundreds, if not a few thousand soldiers in this city, and the defensive strategy of the Abyssal is to attack in a relentless, never-ending waves of soldiers. So they'll have one wave go in and attack, and then when they start to get exhausted, they'll retreat, and the next wave will go forward while the first one returns to rest. So the defensive strategy is basically a continuous wave cycling in and out of fresh and exhausted troops. This idea of Jackal springing the trap is ill-advised. But
Yes. Now that you mention it, we can do another tactic here where we split into 2 and one of us draw the attention of the soldiers and the smaller group strikes while the other group gets the attention.
the second mouse gets the cheese. So if Jackal wants to spring the trap, then we need somebody to be the second mouse. Hadrian coughs though. He speaks up a little bit and he says, there is the third issue that I hadn't gotten to yet. The third issue is the song of the Abyssal, the ones that caught us off guard in the first place. having enough boats might not be enough.
The song?
Because they can manipulate.
Flashbacks.
When Hadrian and Jareth were attacked by an abyssal group, as well as some pirates, they saw boats in the distance, and the next thing they knew, they were being boarded. So the abyssal used their song to mess around with their sense of time. So basically lulled them into like a stupor. There's that issue. However, I need to do a roll here. Roderick coughs slightly this time, and he's just like, about that, I was actually thinking a lot about what you said when Dr. Wolfenstein got stolen. And I mean, he is my family doctor and all that, so I do feel a bit responsible since my parents assigned him to me. I do think I can know of a way to reduce the effectiveness of this, but we would have to test it out as he looks towards Lael with anticipation.
Oh my god.
Okay, okay. Let's try it.
Right now, or?
I mean, we don't really have that much time, so the sooner we figure out what to do, the better.
He raises both hands. He's like, wait. The idea, let me tell you the idea to negate it first. What if we stuff our ears with wet cloth or beeswax? Like something like that. He's a bit embarrassed as he says, this is a trick I used to help make my naps last longer whenever the servants were trying to find me for my lessons. I would stuff my ears with wet cloths and then I would just fall asleep so that their calling out wouldn't wake me up.
You're not smart.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why you're not that intelligent. No, she does not say that. That's me talking.
It's just all thought.
So basically, we can test this out to see if using wet cloth or beeswax could help negate this. Jareth nudges Spira though and says, like, I really don't think the precious cargo should be included in this distraction idea. Whichever boat is part of the distraction mission should be the one that helps deliver this strike team to keep the kid away from any potential conflict. Which boat, Spira, do you think we should put him on?
I want to say the Echo because the Spirit's reason, but the Echo is also a very recognizable one.
True. They did know that he was on this boat to begin with. Yet Sorisa looks up and is like, I want nothing to do with that. Nope. No. She's actually like, I'm considering reevaluating after she hears Solaris talk about the potential thousands of Abyssal coming out from under the ocean, and is like, you know what? I'm really thinking that maybe this is not worth a necklace.
You took my jewelry. You stay.
She's hesitating.
All right. A Fae gave her something.
That's so funny. She's under her contract.
Yeah, she looks, she thinks for a second, and she's like, huh, that's odd. Okay. And yeah, she goes back to like, she hasn't even realized.
Nope. I don't even think Hyannis realizes it at this point.
You know what? Give me a pure luck roll. Give me a pure luck roll to see if we used your contract magic by accident. Yeah, she doesn't realize that she's under the Fae contract. So yeah, she's just like, oh, well, you know, a deal's a deal, I guess. You got her for a week. Spira, you'll have to decide which boat. If it's not the Echoes, then you're going to have to choose whether it's Cracktooth's old boat, Jackal's boat, which is the repurposed one from the stolen one, or Sorisa, but Sorisa didn't want him on the boat. So yeah, it'll have to be one of those two, either Cracktooth's or Jackal's. So the one, yeah, Jareth or Jackal. Which one do you want the kid to be under? Or you could leave him on the island.
The clever part of me is just Jareth, but some part of me is just Jackal would do absolutely anything for the kid.
You can give me an insight roll to try and insist in this, to like evaluate which are the two options here would be most ideal.
Ooh.
All right. You get the impression that yes, Jackal would fight absolutely crazily, but at the same time, you also know that Jackal is itching for a fight. He would definitely like want to charge into the conflict. Whereas Cracktooth with Jareth, Jareth is quite cunning because, you know, he's been the shadow captain for Hadrian this entire time. You know, he's been running everything. So Jareth also understands cunning a little bit more. Jackal seems to be more direct. And it's also Cracktooth's former boat where the kid was kept before. So while the kid might be more nervous about going back to that same boat that they were held hostage in, at the same time, the opponents would assume that the kid wouldn't be on the same boat that he was held hostage on before. So your two options here is that also Jareth can transform without consequence, whereas Jackal, when he does transform, he puts his life in danger.
Yeah, Spira would have to fix him up afterwards. So yeah.
So your gut feeling says that Jareth might be the better option here.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Jareth. Jareth is best boy.
We'll just put the kid in a different room to the one that he was kept in before, not the captain room in the cage.
Yeah.
If you put him in there, Spira will fight.
You guys will be taking Cracktooth's old ship, and the other three boats will head towards Vaer'Ghul, whereas Cracktooth's boat will go off in a different direction. Hadrian says, I know just the place to drop you guys off. It will deliver you to the ocean floor pretty quickly.
How close is it to the capital?
Vaer'Ghul, the military city, we're not that far off of it. We're like a few days to a week away. Where we're going is slightly more north. You see the ley lines that we have running through here? There's a very convenient landmark that I think you guys would be interested in. He smiles. Jackal raises an eyebrow, and then he smiles as well as he gets it. And he's like, oh, the lazy eye.
Did we tell them about the blessing that all of us can now breathe underwater? Because
no, you guys didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, but then why would they assume that we will be the ones going underwater? I mean, I am obviously one of the team who goes underwater, but... And
Spira also has the water-breathing potions.
Yeah, you have the water-breathing potion.
So they think that we will use water-breathing potions.
Yeah. As the DM, I gave you guys several ways to breathe underwater. One of them was the potions, one of them was the gift from the god, and the other one was the jellyfish that Jackal used to escape in his fake memories.
Yeah, I forgot about the potions.
Hadrian says, okay, so the plan is that we will bring the trap on a fixed date, and you guys will have until that time to ready yourselves to enter in while they're distracted by us. We will retreat if we start to get overwhelmed, but we also need to test out this, he looks at Roderick, theory? Experiment? Personal objective? He asks questioningly. Okay, so Hadrian...
He's so excited.
Yeah, Hadrian is... the captains basically are going to split and head back to their boats. Jareth asks to speak to Sarisa for a word in private. You guys get the impression that after meeting the goddess and getting a bit of a stern talking to from the goddess, he realizes that, yeah, maybe he should have a proper conversation with her. So, yeah, he's gonna try and have a conversation to explain everything because, she was also kind of in the dark on this as well. So, yeah, they're gonna try and sort things out. Right then.
Can I test my theory on Roderick as well?
You are excited for this, okay?
I mean, I am.
Seems both of them are. All right.
Both of them are finally the same things.
Okay, he's like, let's first do the wet cloth, the wet cloth test, and then we'll go to beeswax because making beeswax plugs for everyone on the crew is going to be a pain. But if we can, okay. So then, give me it'll be Resolve, Composure, and Arcana. You did the projected psychosis, right? Okay. He seems to withstand it. He does, tremble a bit as he's hit by it, as it's the wet cloth does seem to have some effect on it, but not entirely, like it's going through. Give me another roll, and he's going to try now with the beeswax. All right. Yep, the beeswax is way more effective.
Damn.
He spin a little bit because he was subjected to it twice. He takes the beeswax out. If you want, you can do one more. It's entirely up to you. If you want to hit him with a full-blown one without any ear protection, just to see what happens. This is entirely up to you.
I would like to do that.
For science.
For science, obviously. Yeah.
He rolled a 7
Yeah.
and he has no ear protection. Yeah, he collapses to the floor and clutches at his head and he's like, ah! You know, he's like going like full on. Yeah, he is not, you know, he's not aware of what's going on. Everyone else in the
Oh,
party,
come on. Now even I feel bad for him.
everyone else looks in the party and is just like, ah, so that's what happens when you get hit by it full blown without any protection. I see.
It wasn't worth it. It was just a demonstration for
Exactly.
everybody to know what to
Yeah.
expect.
So it seems that
And why it's really important to use your protection.
exactly
Protection,
ear,
yeah.
ear protection. So
This is why you use protection.
yeah, the crew is going to be provided earplugs as well as a very quick crash course on sign language so that communication can still occur. Solaris, though, there is another tactic that you sent me a message about that you came up with.
Yes.
You can offer to test this with the group as well.
Can I test it on them without them knowing?
Ooh.
Really don't want
You know what?
anyone to know it yet.
Give me another roll while you're doing it on Roderick.
Another one with the same.
Yeah, same stats, yeah.
Mhm.
And I'll factor this in.
It's just lower and lower and lower and lower.
Let's see here. Hyacinth, give me a spirit sense check. So then, you guys are going to set sail. You're going to be leaving the island. Spira, I believe you said you wanted to fly for a little bit.
She kind of just want to fly and see how the winds feel on her wings, basically.
Yep. So in that case, where is it here? Yeah, give me acrobatics rolls, dexterity and acrobatics. Spira, you take to the skies around this island with the large rock sticking out of it with the stairway leading up to the shrine. The winds feel amazing, right? You've flown along the Golden Strider's migration path for your entire life. And there are a few days where the winds feel as great as this does. Like this ley line, definitely the spirits that are passing through this ley line seem to be exuberant. You're not sure whether it's because of the Moonchild or if it's the shrine itself or the fact that a deity was here recently, but whatever the reason, it doesn't matter because this is the easiest flight you've had. You barely feel like you have to put in any effort and the winds just take you where you want to go. So you can do all sorts of twirls and acrobatics and flips and everything. The sun has set, so just this orange hue is barely like sinking below the horizon. So most of the sky and the clouds are purple, but there's still the various technicolor shades from the influence of the spirits in the area. You see the 4 boats parked below with the crews all busying themselves. You also see Roderick curled up in a ball on the deck somewhere. And you see the man in the hut at the bottom just waving up at you as well from below. But yeah, it is a great flight. You notice the boats have started to set sail and 3 of them seem to be heading in one direction and Cracktooth's boat is heading in another. So you know which one you're supposed to go to. Is there anything that you want to do while you're in the sky here?
I don't think she wants to do anything. This guy's just enjoying, maybe using some spirit sense in us playing with the spirit.
Nat 20. You got a nat 20. Well, that worked.
She had a lovely time playing with the spirit.
Yeah, you definitely feel like recovered as well. It's almost as if the mood of the spirits as well seem to be infectious. So you feel your own spirits as well, exuberant and almost playful, because remember, spirits are thoughts and emotions that are coming off of your soul, and wild spirits are those that have left the creator of those spirits. You notice that some of your spirits are naturally leaving to join the wild spirits of the ley line, but in turn you also notice that the wild spirits around you seem to be elevating and uplifting, particularly the negative ones around you, because Spira's been through so much that now that you look at it more often, you realize that a lot of your own personal spirits that you've been creating, some of them have been quite gray, dull, sad. Like a lot of the difficulties of your journey has been seeping out of your subconscious and influencing the spirits around you, but experiencing these wild spirits seems to be actually changing them directly. So, yay, basically morale booster.
Nice.
Nice, yes, much needed breath of air before you descend to the bottom of the ocean. So enjoy the flight while you can.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody else, is there anything you'd like to do before we set sail? Because the boats are sailing. You can call out to the man on the boat on the island if you want, or interact with any NPCs. Yeah, you guys are sailing. This is called determined sailing. So, yeah, you are sailing with determination. There are unicorn children to be saved. You will travel to the bottom of the ocean. You will unravel the plots around you. But in all seriousness, you notice that Jareth is still the captain of this crew. So Hadrian, Sorisa, and Jackal have head off in the other direction. The unicorn child is very relieved to see the four of you are still on this boat, because they are a bit nervous, but seeing Spira in particular, as well as the rest of the party, brings them relief. As you are sailing, let's see, everybody give me perception checks. So you notice that the winds seem to be almost pushing the boats intentionally. It seems far too fortuitous that these winds are pushing you directly in the direction that you want to go. And Jareth barely has to steer at all. The crew just go full sail and let the winds take the boat. It's almost as if the spirits themselves understand the importance of this journey that you guys are about to embark on and are giving you a little push. All right. So, as you're sailing, you get to see those same sights as before with the flying mantas that pop out of the water every now and then. You notice that there are loads more of ocean life in this area. As you're sailing, things seem to be going a little too well. It's a little too good, you know? As a DM, part of me is like, no, I gotta test this around. But you're making great time, which is good because
We've been doing so good.
it's good because the warning that you got is that the children that are being held by the corruption devil are sleeping. So that might be the reason why, Spira, you didn't hear a single call throughout this adventure, is that the children, but the child that you rescued from Cracktooth, his mouth was bound, but the moon goddess told you guys that the children are sleeping. So they're not dead. At least they're not dead. Okay, that's the one relief that you can take from that message. The other is that it's very unlikely that if you attempted the call that they would be able to respond. So as you're sailing, Jareth says to you guys, I'm not particularly keen on this plan. He just casually drops that while he's here, but he's like, I can't exactly argue with. Well, I know that the four of you are incredibly capable, but you'll be not only heading down where there's an army, from what you said, Solaris, that there's an army down there, on top of the fact that who knows what horrors could be awaiting you. I don't, are the four of you strong enough? You get the Solaris, you can give me an insight check. Gosh, now everybody's going to be insight checking every NPC now.
Nobody's trusting anybody.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You can tell, you've known Jareth long enough now, you can tell that he's being genuine in this. He's concerned for you guys because you've helped them out so much that, he doesn't want to see you guys throw your lives away.
We will be careful, don't worry. If you see something that's too dangerous, we will just turn around.
Just, he's just worried because he doesn't know. He's like, he's trying to find the words to put it, but he basically just says, I don't know if everything is going to work out exactly as planned down there. You guys have to prepare yourselves for the worst.
Well, if everything fails, I can go alone because I'm an abyssal, so I will blend into the others much more.
How does the rest of the party respond to this?
We can't let you go alone.
It's just that if everything else fails, it's the safest option.
What if they get you? What if they find you out and then you're all by yourself and no one can save you?
I will.
I don't care what you say, but I'm going too.
Aww.
Aw.
Don't leave me out of this too, Abyssal.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm not sure my bow and arrows are gonna do much good, but I can stab stuff.
Jareth he looks at the four of you and he's just like, okay then, like, just please come back. Because the crew have gotten really attached to you guys, myself included. He's like, and if you find the rest of our crew down there and the doctor can, I know it's tough to ask, it's already going to be a difficult mission, but if you could save them as well, we'd all be in your debt.
So this
We'll do our
okay.
best.
Some of the crew were kidnapped as well as the doctor. So if there's one place that they're likely to be, it'll be at Vaer'Ghul. So.
We will try to be as careful as we can, so we will see, but we will try our best.
He's like, all right, well, we will be coming up on it soon. The Lazy Eye.
Is it a nice place to sleep?
No, the Lazy Eye, it's a giant maelstrom. Do you know what that is, little Fae?
No.
A maelstrom is when two currents flow in such a way that they create a giant whirlpool that swallows ships. This one is unique. It's called the Lazy Eye because there are two ocean ley lines passing by here, but they're flowing in opposite directions. So it creates the largest maelstrom in the world, but it's incredibly slow. So it has another nickname. It's also known as the Gentle Death, because once a boat is pulled into the Lazy Eye, very few can actually escape its pull, but it's so slow that it just brings you to the bottom of the ocean without much violence that's why it's known as the Gentle Death. You guys see it on the horizon. You see a monstrous hole. Like, it is hundreds of meters wide, and you just see this ever so slowly gradual turning around it. Jareth orders the crew to drop anchor, and they raise this, they tie up the sails, and he's like, if we risk getting any closer, then this boat won't be able to come back. Like, that's just how strong the pull is of the Lazy Eye, even though it's still several kilometers away. Like, I don't want to risk the lives of the crew here. You guys are gonna have to go out in the rowboat, just like the good old days with the with the werewolf night on your first adventure with us.
Hans is a little afraid, so she's gonna look at Solaris. She's like, ah.
I look down at the water.
Your doggy paddle lessons have not improved as much yet.
Yeah, we can breathe. That doesn't mean I can swim.
Exactly.
But you've also never seen a hole quite like this because it's so far away that you can't see down it. You just see the ocean dipping down as if it were a bowl that's tilted. So you just see it tipping and like turning ever so slowly. One of the ley lines that passes through the island that you came through is one of those two ley lines that's creating this thing. So yeah, the Lazy Eye, the Gentle Death, pick whichever name you want.
I like the Gentle Death. That's scary.
Once she has you in her embrace, she just drags you down.
Lazy Eye just sounds so misleading. It's like, oh, look, it's lazy. Oh my god.
Fair. So, Spira, was there anything you'd like to say to the child before you separate?
I'm gonna go down and see if I can find one of your friends down there, and you're gonna stay with Jareth, and he's gonna take really good care of you. And I'm gonna be back, okay? You just be very brave.
Okay. I'll try my best, and if you can like find my brother, I would. Yes, please save him. The Hyacinth, do you want to take Truffles with you in your shadow, or do you want to leave Truffles with the kid?
Why would Truffles be? I don't think Truffles would be able to do anything because he wasn't blessed by the.
Yeah.
I mean, he can stay inside a shadow, but yeah, that is a fair point.
I know, but even if he does come out, I mean, what can he do?
All right.
He should stay with the child.
Yeah, I'm gonna say plus it's
Kitty,
better to stay with
back on the job.
Good
Okay.
Kitty.
So Truffles.
Can Hyacinth say goodbye to Truffles real quick?
Yeah, of course. Truffles pops out of the shadow and like rubs all over you, like.
I'll be back soon, Truffles. You be good and take care of the unicorn child, okay?
You tilt his head. I need to do a animal control roll for you. 15. Okay, yes, he understands and he will do his best to protect the child. He doesn't understand exactly why, but that's not the point. He just knows, don't let anybody eat this thing.
Kitty.
And he's allowed to eat anyone who tries. So, yeah, he stretches a little bit one more time. You notice that when he rubs against you, he's super warm because the ember lines always create that heat. Yeah, he'll keep the kid warm no matter what. So, yeah.
Oh.
So he dives back into the unicorn child's shadow, and now they have a terrifying bodyguard. Evil DM was trying to get rid of the bodyguard, but no. I wanted to see if you would take him with you. I don't work against you, but I also don't work for you. So sometimes I make positive suggestions, sometimes I make negative suggestions. You know,
DM is true neutral.
I gotta keep you guessing. You know, you mustn't take everything I say as good or bad. Okay, so then you guys are going to get in the mini boat. Anybody want to do anything else? Nix, you've been quite quiet. Is there anything you want to say to Jareth or anything before you go? Some swimming advice, maybe.
Yes. How can I swim stronger?
Swim.
How does one swim?
He thinks about it for a moment and he goes, well, your doggy paddle is terrible. So rather than trying to rely on that, there is something that I've heard some fishermen use. They're called flippers. I mean, we don't have any on the boat, but you've got 5 tails. So maybe you can try and use those like flippers. And that might work. They try swishing your tails up and down like a wave while you're underwater. That might help. That's the only advice he can give you.
Propeller tails. Propeller tails. Zoom.
Not circular propeller, more like flippers. Imagine they were circular if that actually worked. That's not how your cloud step works, by the way. That's not like tails from Sonic. Ugh. No, just no. You guys get into the rowboat and start heading out. Everybody has said all of that they need to do. Jareth wishes you all the luck, and he just hopes beyond hope that you guys will succeed in everything, that everybody will come back, that, you know, nobody's going to die on this adventure. He really just wants to celebrate with everyone after all of this. You know, get in, get the children, save the crew, and get out, please. Don't take any more risks than you need to. That's what he says to you guys as you're climbing into the rowboat. You can tell he really cares about you guys. Like he's going over the plan like 4 or 5 times. Like, this is this. You guys have a week before the distraction is going to kick in. Okay, so in exactly a week, at around, it's going to be hard for you guys to tell the time down there, isn't it? But yeah, in a week, you'll probably notice, because if it's anything like a Bloodbee cave, it's going to light up the moment it's poked. So yeah, you guys have got a week. You can track the daytime at least. So yeah. Plus he looks at Solaris and goes, you're kind of the expert on this. So I'm going to assume you guys have your own way of telling time down there.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, final goodbyes. This might be the last time you see Jareth.
What?
Just saying, it's a fleet battle and I got to do rolls behind the scenes. So this might be the last time you see Jareth.
Oh no, he might die.
Don't
He might
you
die, you
dare
might
kill
die.
Jareth. No.
Don't I dare.
Better come out of this alive, Jareth.
I'm sorry, but not every NPC is going to survive this story. I mean, in the entirety of the story.
I'm fine with Roderick not surviving, but Jareth.
Watch him be the only one that survives. Guys, did you miss me?
Knowing his luck, he'll nat 20 when it matters most.
Yeah. The only one.
I feel like he's pretty much invincible.
He's got Toon Force on his side. With the kiss.
And then when he nat 20, beating crack tooth up.
Yeah, he's got
What?
Toon Force. All right. So, final goodbyes. Bye, Jareth.
Bye, Jareth.
Bye, Jareth.
All right. So you guys are in the boat. Who wants to do the rowing? Hanson, you can
Not
as well
I,
because you're
said
big.
Fae.
You can turn big now.
Yeah, but my strength still stands.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I think I will row because I have several tentacles that can do more than one.
All right. So give me
Equals will.
strength and
Finally,
dex.
that I am good at it and I have nice stats.
Finally, strength.
All this
do
thinking
I
and
add the
talking.
head-
Ugh.
I mean, yeah. Do I add the handed tentacles as well?
Yeah, you
to
can
the
as well.
strength
Why
bonus?
not? Yeah,
Because I am advantaged and it's a
go
plus
for it.
20.
So you're
with
just gonna
advantage.
you're just gonna sit there, and your head tentacles are gonna do all the work.
Yeah,
Wow.
basically.
33. It is a terrifying sight for everyone else, as these extra long tentacles, because Solaris's head tentacles got longer after you guys met the Jinn. So yeah, you got these long tendrils that wrap around the rows, and the whole boat just lurches forward with each pull, while Solaris just leans back and lets the head tentacles do all the work.
I'm so
Yeah,
scared.
I'm just
that she's on our
folding
side.
my arms.
Yeah.
And
After a while, you guys notice that the boat starts listing in one direction. It starts being pulled towards the right in the counterclockwise motion, and you realize Jareth's warnings are true, that you guys are in the pull of the lazy eye, the gentle death. At some point, Solaris, you realize that you can just let go, and the boat is
Mhm.
going to be pulled towards it.
yeah, I think I will speed up because I really want to go.
You want to get the water. All right.
Yes.
Okay, so
Solaris like, yes.
yeah, let's go. What I find hilarious is that nobody here wanted to test out the goddess's supposed blessing to make sure that you actually can breathe underwater. You literally just took the god's words at face value and now are entering into the gentle death.
Well,
I
I
have faith in the goddess.
Oh, hold on. She can't lead us astray because we're gonna look after her daughter. So
I have faith in the goddess.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, none of you
And
tested
Spira
it.
has her potion.
Yeah, you got the backup potion in the worst case scenario, but still, like, holy shit. Like, you just took that at face value. Like, I even called it the gentle death to be like, maybe you guys want to test this out a little bit. Nope, full steam
we're like,
ahead.
no.
I don't have to worry. So
Watch her daughter run across the water. I have faith.
For all the struggles that Solaris has gone through over these past 8 months, all the judgment from every NPC they've ever met, all the struggles of being on land, finally, the tables will turn today.
yes.
As you guys rode to... Okay. As you guys rode, Hyacinth and Spira, you still have some time to fly a little bit because, you know, you don't have to sit on the boat itself. You can enjoy these last few moments of flight above the water. So if you want, you can fly above the lazy eye and have a peek.
No.
And Spira?
Yeah, Spira is not gonna fly. I think Spira is gonna just alchemy clothes and stuff to hold against pressure a bit more, but yeah.
Okay. The goddess did say that her husband still has some pull on the ocean spirits, so you guys shouldn't be, like, the pressure shouldn't be it shouldn't be deadly, but it might just not be comfortable. Okay. As you guys approach the gentle death, the boat is picked up by the waves rotating, and as you get closer to this bowl, you can start to see deeper and deeper into it. And yes, it is a hole that is hundreds of meters, so like 1,000 feet across. It is monstrous. And as you look down, you just see pitch darkness going to the bottom. But the walls of the maelstrom, the inner walls of the water, seem to be sparkling almost with a oil effect on them, like an oil slick, as you see the various spirits clashing and colliding from the two ley lines passing each other and generating the lazy eye itself. As the boat reaches the lip of the maelstrom, it lurches gently, it tilts at like a 5-degree angle and starts to sail down. And you realize that it's so huge that the boat, even though you all have to lean slightly to the side, and it's terrifying because when you look down, you just see this fall, like it's a straight up fall. But yeah, the boat just continues to sail along the edge of the water, and every rotation just takes you deeper and deeper. After a few minutes, you realize you're now dozens of meters, several times that by 3. So yeah, you're about 50 to 100 feet below the water line, and you are now truly just sailing in a circle down this maelstrom into the gentle death. Spira, you look up and you see the last few clouds above. Everybody give me perception. And I got a roll for Spira. And...
Yeah, give me perception.
Yeah, give me perception.
Okay, so Spira first.
I'm so sorry, Jono.
Okay, and then Hyacinth, 26. Nice. Yeah, so yeah, you guys look all around you and you gain a sense that this is one of the crucial moments in your lives. Like, what happens from here on out is going to decide the fate of not just yourselves, but many people, potentially thousands of people. That's the premonition that all these guiding spirits gift to you guys as you're traveling down. You realize that this is a pivotal point in the story of this world. Because if there's one thing that knows more than even gods, it's the wild spirits themselves of the entire world.
I'm so terrified of failing.
So yeah, you guys sail down the gentle death, and as you're continuing, the light starts to fade a little bit more. You do notice that the 2 ley lines that are running in the ocean currents around are creating light though, but it's a pale, murky light. It's as if the white has a greenish tinge to it. So it's not bright. It's very easy to look at, but yeah, the ocean itself in this area has been illuminated by the spirit ley lines traveling through. As you're circling within the lazy eye, going round and round, you do notice that the inner walls of it are starting to get tighter. So with each rotation, the boat lurches just a little bit more. It tilts inwards a little bit more. Everybody give me balance rolls. So acrobatics plus dexterity or strength. Yeah, but you don't want to fall and like crack your head on the rocks below, potentially.
Oh.
Because it's a maelstrom, right? Have you, just a second. I'll just quickly bring up an image of it. Maelstrom. Sorry, I thought you guys have seen a maelstrom before. It's this.
No.
I mean, I saw it, but I never really thought about what's inside. And
here we go. So it's kind of like just a whirlpool, a giant whirlpool that forms in the ocean. Let's see here. So for Spira, crit fail.
Oh no.
and for Tella, oh no, Tella doesn't need to roll. Spira, you fall out of the boat, but there's still air. So I'm gonna do another roll. Okay, yeah. You almost drop your bag, but you're able to catch it as you fell out of the boat and you flap your wings. It feels weird to be flapping your wings while you're completely surrounded by a slowly twisting walls of water all around you. You guys go deeper and deeper and deeper. And as the walls get thinner and thinner, you notice that you can start to see rocks below, and they seem to be almost broken and twisted. You notice that there are lots of destroyed boats down here. There's lots of wreckages. If you guys stay in this boat, one, it's dangerously close to tipping over, and that would fall onto the sharp rocks below with all the wreckages of the ships. Or you guys can dive into the water, because the strength of the lazy eye down at this point, it's enough for you guys to swim away from it. All the power is on the surface level, which is pulling everything.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to swim.
That's all what Sorors does.
I'm diving into.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing what Solaris does.
Everyone but Solaris has to give me a resolve roll, because you're literally about to enter into the bottom of the ocean and you're not sure if this breathing, if you guys are going to be able to breathe in that. So give me a resolve roll to have the willpower to do this.
I think maybe I should help Tella, because she's so, Hyacinth, because she's so small that...
No, she's fine. She's in her 4 foot.
But still
But he can
more
swim.
weak, and I don't want the current to part us. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
You got a swimming expert.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think I would
Flora
just
takes me
I would
for
just hold
pouch.
on to her.
Okay.
So Nyx and Spira are very nervous about this. Understandably, Nyx, I have to give you a debuff because you can't swim. Yeah, it's terrifying, but you see Hyacinth and Solaris splash into the water and start to disappear. You notice that Finn the shark has been trailing this boat the entire time. Your pet shark, Solaris, has been with you this entire time. He has been following loyally behind you, even inside the lazy eye. He's just been happily like chugging along. Okay. Splash. Spira and Nyx, you dive into the water and you take your first breath. And Hyacinth, I'm going to assume that you held your breath for as long as possible, but eventually you have to let out the bubbles like. Everybody breathes in the water against their instincts, and it feels heavy and cold, but surprisingly, your bodies don't reject it. Like you actually, it feels as if you've taken a breath of very humid air, but it's a struggle. Every breath that you take is effort, right? It's much more, it's very noticeable. It's going to take a while for you guys to adjust to this. Let's see here. I need to, okay, yeah. So Solaris, you can swim around completely freely. You are in your element now, so you are incredibly. Finn does a
I
few.
was just imagining myself just swimming around them happily in a circle.
I'm over here like, this is weird. This is terrible. This is weird.
And I am grinning at you like it's in it now.
Yeah, the party slowly sinks to the floor, the ocean floor. Nyx, it feels weird. Like your body wants to lift up every now and then. Every step is slightly buoyant. But yeah, Solaris is just a little missile in the water, is being able to twist and twirl, almost like as agile as Spira was in the air earlier when they were doing their acrobatics with them among the wind spirits. Finn the shark is equally just as agile as he's spinning around and zooming because he's a severfin shark, which is one of the fastest around. So he cuts through the water like a knife. So these two, Nyx, you get the realization that these two underwater would be quite a terrifying combo to go up against. Let's see. Nyx, give me a swimming roll. So you can pick strength or dex. And if you want, you can try out the flipper advice that Jareth gave you.
Okay, I'm gonna try to flip with my tails.
I'm gonna do the same for Tina. And
Oh no! Fail. Oh no!
yeah,
At least I can breathe underwater.
yeah,
Can I ask Finn to help?
yep.
Help them.
So Nyx, you flounder, you try to follow this advice, but it just doesn't make sense. You've never understood how to swim, why people want to go in the water. So yeah, you kick and move and you swish your tails, but nothing happens. You
And I
don't
go
travel
nowhere.
anywhere. At some point, you start rotating backwards and you do like a small flip, and you're just like, how does this work?
I am just watching them grinning for I don't know several seconds before I actually start to behave like a decent person and send Finn to help them.
Spira and Hyacinth, yep, you both realize that, you know, flapping your wings is counterproductive in the water. The water feels heavy every movement you take. When you do try to flap your wings, as soon as you pull your wings back, it pulls you in one way, and then as you flap them forwards, it pulls you right back. So if trying to use your wings underwater basically is a waste of energy because you go nowhere. Like it's equal parts forward, equal parts back. So
Oh no.
it's completely
No
you're
one's going anywhere.
actually you're going to have to swim the old-fashioned way with your arms and legs. Spira gets the hang of it quite quickly though. Like Spira rolled 24 So Spira got the hang of it pretty quickly. It still feels weird though, but it's not heavy like walking. So it's better than walking, but it's still not as good as flying.
There's no spider clouds.
True, there are no arachnar down here, just the most terrifying predators in existence. The deep ocean is horrifying. Solaris, you offer the shark to help the Kitsune. Give me a composure roll, Nix, because a shark literally is swimming up straight at you and you're completely helpless.
Like, oh god, what is happening?
That's right.
What is that?
Solaris,
I mean,
also...
Finn is not terrifying. He's cute.
Solaris, give me an animal control roll to make sure it doesn't nibble at Nix. Because Nix is thrashing, which is what prey does in the water.
Yeah, but I can handle ocean life.
Yeah, I will give you like a huge vote. I just want to see if you get like a crit fail.
Thank you.
That can happen.
So only just the animal handling. Nothing
Animal
more.
handling plus manipulation.
It's manipulation. Oh, that's much better.
Come on, don't bite. Not food, friends, or not food. Okay, yeah, you're fine. Nix, you also hold your composure, and you see, you guys can actually talk under the water. You can speak.
Can we?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, nice.
The spirits between you guys will help convey the messages across. So you speak like, it's like mumbled like underwater, but you understand what the other person is saying. Like you hear the but the spirit connection between you guys will help like translate it.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have like bonded. It's been many months. Like it's been almost a year since you started this adventure. Yeah.
But I'm still enjoying Nick struggling underwater.
Nix,
I'm not having a good time in the water.
yeah. Nix, do you take...
This is not my element.
I mean, it's just a in a friendly, teasing way, but I really do enjoy it.
Nix, do you take hold of the handle of the Seraphin shark, the saddle?
I do.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's more like a very short range dog leash. You know, it's like a leather strap that goes around between the gills and the fins and everything. So you hold onto it with one hand. And this is how the Abyssal ride the Seraphin sharks, is that they wrap their hands along a handle and then the shark literally drags them through the water while they wield a weapon in their other hand. So yeah, it's less riding and more like being dragged by a very enthusiastic water puppy.
That's cute.
Yeah. So Nix, you suddenly zoom. You get the zoomies from Finn, and you're just pulled through the water, like this rush as the water flows through. Your tail's like whoosh like crazily behind you, like as you're being like dragged through the water. But yeah, the shark is happy. He is enthusiastic and good to go. Like he's letting loose finally. Like, wow! Spira, you've gotten the hang of swimming under here. You realize that, you know, it's important and everything to get our bearings and such, but, you know, there is a mission.
I think we should locate the direction where to go towards Vaer'Ghul.
Okay, then, Solaris, give me a perception roll. And this is going to be something unique for you because you know how to locate cities and towns and such for the Abyssal. There is a beacon that emanates a pulse that you know the sound of. So yeah, you've basically got to give me a perception check to pick up on where a nearby town would be emanating its signal from. Okay. The first thing you notice is that despite the beauty of the two ley lines and the spirits creating the gentle death and the light that's created around it and everything, the ocean is quiet. Like, compared to your hometown and Thal Azeth, the ocean in these parts of the waters is very quiet. Normally, when you were traveling, like when you left Thal Azeth, you could hear the thrum of the beacons of several cities and towns. But here, you'd only pick up on just one, and barely.
This is strange, guys. I cannot locate the city. I mean, it should be much
Are they stranded?
louder, but I can barely sense the direction. Something's wrong, very wrong.
Can they do something to make sure that they are not heard, like suppress the noise, or is it that they are not there?
Solaris, you remember from your prequel story one of the points of information you were given before you left. That might be playing a role in this.
This is suspicious.
Very suspicious.
Wait,
This Jono lied and
So I heard stories about disappearances in this part of the ocean. Several of our cities went just completely missing, and nobody knows where the people are or how they disappeared. They just disappeared. So
Yeah, it's been
how's that possible?
It's been a spooky rumor.
So maybe that's why I can't hear them as loud as it should be. I don't know, but it's weird.
Well, there has to be something causing it. It can't just be
Yeah,
ghosts.
yeah, but nobody told me what caused this. Maybe they also didn't know. It was strange, but the cities were undamaged, and Commander Sir told me as well that a similar event happened about 80 years ago, that a complete city just disappeared. I mean, the people of the city, but the buildings and the city itself wasn't damaged. It's just that everyone went missing.
Everybody give me investigation or insight with intelligence when you hear that. Something nudges in the back of the mind for Solaris and Spira when you talk about this, and you remember somebody telling you something about happening 80 years ago with regards to Vaer'Ghul.
I mean, I know.
Do you? You can send me a message if you think you know.
I think. Let me message it to you.
No clue.
Yeah, so-
Lael's figured it out. Lael's got it.
Okay, but now that I mentioned that Commander Sir told me that something like this happened around 80 years ago, now it just came to my mind that Zenai also said that she slayed the devil here around that time, wasn't she?
Yes.
I think she told
Yeah,
When
yeah, she told us that.
she
And
casually
I was
mentioned during your
thinking
training.
about the devils as well, because it's something weird going on, and we know that the devils are avoiding Zenai. And down here would probably be where I was gonna hide.
So maybe the disappearances are connected to the devil Zenai mentioned.
Pesky devils.
Yeah, maybe. And I was also thinking about how the vampires were kind of hypnotizing the children to just follow them. There could be some mass hypnosis going on, or maybe they are using the people for something.
There was one more thing I'll give you as well for that, because I've got to reward you guys for that. You also remember that 10 years ago, when the unicorns tried to flee across to Tarnithia, that Sorisa said that the waters got dark and dangerous 10 years ago as well, and they've gotten dark again. So something, so you guys are in the turbulent times right now, but something also happened 10 years ago, but also something happened 80 years ago, which you now know was Zenai slaying a devil down here. So you've got a beacon, just one. You can wander into the darkness of the ocean without following it, or you can head towards it. It's entirely up to you.
I don't like this jiggle.
I don't either.
I mean, can Hyacinth like dream walk, kind of,
Yep.
to scout ahead?
Hyacinth, you have your dream weaving.
Okay, I can try that.
Yeah, you just gotta like fall asleep in Solaris's pouch, and then you can like astral project.
Solaris, can I go in your pouch?
Solaris, will you let
Solaris, may I go in your pouch?
Of course.
her? So
Yeah.
Faye is like a free ride with the best swimmer. Got it.
Nice.
Oh god, Faye resonance on top of Solaris's swimming capabilities is gonna make her into a torpedo.
Zoom.
Yeah,
Allows herself to go to sleep
yeah.
in the pouch.
So as you guys are swimming, Hyacinth, you eventually drift off to sleep because the warmth of being near Solaris it's like you're surrounded by a cozy blanket with the warm water around you, and it's better than the cold water outside of the pouch. So it's quite comfy, and you find yourself being able to fall asleep quite easily. Nyx, your arm starts to get sore from just the sheer dragging of Finn, but it's still better than trying to swim.
Holy God, for my life.
Yeah, pretty much. This shark is like zooming all over the place. Like while you guys are traveling forward, this shark is like doing laps around you guys, and Nyx is being dragged the entire time. The shark is very hyperactive, okay? He's excited. He also gets distracted now and then when he sees a small fish, and he chases after it and eats it. And Nyx, you just have to like accept this, that you're going to be dragged around by this guy.
This is my life right now.
Yeah. But Spira, you start to get the hang of swimming underwater, and it's not going to be quite up to Solaris's level, but Spira has got quite long legs and long arms, so with enough practice, you start being able to like maximize your efficiency with swimming. Plus, you're very dexterous, so your character's quite physically fit as well with your stamina and your strength and your dexterity. So yeah, you get the hang of it. You swim quite well after a while. It still feels weird though. Like you want, every now and then you get the urge to flap your wings, but you realize, nope, it's gonna make things worse. So you gotta tuck them in. Okay, so after a while, you guys start to notice strange towers, columns. You're not quite sure. Solaris, you know exactly what this is. This is a settlement. The towers and everything before you would be where multiple families of Abyssal would be living in. There are no doors. As you approach it, you notice that there are lots of windows carved into them, but they're not really windows because windows don't work down here. It's rather their entrances. So there's a lot of rectangular holes cut into these giant stone buildings, and each one is supposed to be a family's home, like the entrance to their home. How does everybody but Solaris react to this? Because you guys have no clue how the Abyssal Society lives.
I'm asleep.
Oh, right. Okay, so Hyacinth, you fall asleep and your astral projection kicks in. And because the dream weaving is your illusion magic. But yeah, astral projection is your seeing while sleeping. So yeah, you circle the ocean area around you. You notice that the deeper you guys go into the oceans, the darker it gets as you travel away from the ley lines and the light glow. But you do notice that there are patches of the ocean that seem to be illuminated. You notice that it's either the ocean life, which is creating light sources, so like plankton and such, which is creating light, or it seems to be like patches of spirits as well. So it's not pitch black, but it's also it's spotty. You know, some parts are pure darkness, other spots are like a rich blue, other spots are green. So as you explore around, you notice that this is a very alien world. You see creatures you never thought existed, like a fish that has a transparent skull, but you can see its two eyes looking around within its skull as it looks around for food. It's very scary. But you're a spirit right now, so you know, you're a collection of spirits that your soul is like seeing the world through. So yeah, they don't see you as food. You're just a mass of spirits floating around. So yeah, as you go around, you also see the city that the group is heading towards. What would you like to do? Because you're ahead of the group, so you can like dive into the city before they arrive.
So I'm seeing the pillars, right?
Yeah, they are like large stone buildings that have been carved from stone.
And I'm gonna look around to see if I can find any sign of life. Can I use my spirit sense?
Yes, you can. 28. 1 versus 19. My gosh, that whiplash. Okay, pick the 19. All right. So yeah, the scariest thing about this is that there are many of these stone structures which should be housing many families, but you don't pick up on much. There is some gathering of spirits near the center of the central part of this town, but yeah, besides that, you don't pick up on any individuals. You can't see anybody either. It feels almost like a ghost town.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Can I go to the center?
Yep. The rest of the group also arrives at the edge of the town, and yeah, if you guys look into any of the cutouts, because nobody approaches you, there's no guards, and
I think I would like to peek into several of the buildings to see if I can see anybody.
Okay, when you look in the house, you see it reminds you almost of your home back in Eldra. You see the various homes, the stone stringed beads that make entranceways inside the houses and stuff like that. You notice that there's various rooms for different ages, and people have decorated their homes in different manners. But the crazy thing is that it all looks peaceful. That there's
this is what I wanted to ask. That can I see something that's damaged or
no sign of struggle?
Mm-hmm. So it's just
cleared out. Things have been neatly packed up, just empty. You know, it's ready. It's almost like it's ready for when its owner returns. But yeah, you don't see any damage or signs of struggle or panic or anything like that.
Any signs of that the people here had to leave abruptly, or they had time to, I don't know, pack their things, or just
you can give me a perception roll. You don't notice anything. You do spot that, you know, that there are valuables left behind, that if people were in a panic, they would have grabbed those valuables, or if they were evacuating calmly, they would have packed those valuables away. So you do find it strange that that's out of place, right? You can't make sense of that. Like why people would leave that open. All right. Spira and Nyx, what are your thoughts on all of this? Because this is literally your first time encountering Abyssal culture. Like, there are no doors.
Like, how do they have privacy? There's no doors.
Yeah, there's string that comes down and stones. There's like little pebbles that have been laid on strings. So like, you know those string doors when you walk through them? It's like that. That's like the closest you get to privacy.
They were used to living in a tent, so
just wait until you see their
she's
schooling
not
system.
fussed about. Yeah. Yeah, schools are weird. Yeah, Spira just thinks that it's really creepy, and she's kind of feels that there should be someone just waiting to attack them somewhere.
It's too quiet.
Yeah, can I somehow guesstimate when the people left this town? For example, investigate the sand that's been accumulating on things, or food, how much...
Everyone can give me an investigation roll, and while that's happening, I will go to Hyacinth. So, Hyacinth, you're drifting around the center of the village, and you notice that there is a statue of an abyssal, and you're not quite sure whether it's a male or female abyssal, but because the entire head is covered in tendrils, you can't see the face at all. So there's tendrils coming from the lower jaw, there's tendrils coming from the head. There, you can't see its eyes or its nose. It's literally just a head with tendrils coming off of it. And its two arms are raised together with cupped hands right above its head. And it just stands there. But you can sense spirits are within and gathering around this statue. Okay, Nyx, Solaris. Oh yeah, I got a roll for Spira.
Investigation is what?
Intelligence.
Just investigation?
Intelligence plus investigation, yeah.
Okay, because I don't have investigation.
So +4 for Spira. Okay, so yeah, Solaris, you realize that this place must have been cleaned out for quite a while now, maybe a week, a couple of weeks. Yeah, whatever food was left here, either fish have like helped themselves. You get the impression that this didn't happen recently. This has been emptied for a while now. But yeah. Hyacinth, I gotta do a composure roll for you.
What?
Yeah, Hyacinth, you're creeped out by this statue. Like this faceless statue, the way it's posed, the way the spirits move around it. You do not like it. You do not like it at all.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. The rest of the group, Solaris, you would sense the beacon is also coming from the center of the village. So yeah, as you head towards it, you guys are tuned enough to Hyacinth that you can tell that Hyacinth's like spirits are like lingering in front of this thing. Like you get like a vague impression as you see like just a faint glow and sparkle in the water. And if you squint really hard, you can see almost like the faint outline of Hyacinth just like going, looking at the statue. Spira and Nyx, how do you react to this? It's a creepy looking statue.
Yeah. Bad vibes.
Spirit
Don't
sense.
like this. Yeah, gonna use spirit sense.
All right. Solaris,
Like, time to vibe check this creepy statue.
Yep, that is what we use the spirits for. We just vibe check everything.
Hold on. 1 sec, I need to vibe check you.
Nyx, you get like a horrible like feeling from it. Solaris, you also notice this is supposed to be a beacon statue, right? So within the Abyssal culture, in order for Abyssal to locate their various groups and towns and villages and cities within the empire, that every village is supposed to have a beacon, and that beacon statue is supposed to represent the royal family, but this one doesn't match the other beacon statues that you're used to seeing in your parts of the ocean. So you get the impression that this one has been changed. You don't know when it was changed or how long. This could have been something that's happened decades ago, or it could be recent, but whatever it is, it's not normal. Usually it's the current ruler. So in this case, it's supposed to be the Empress, but
this is not.
This is definitely not the Empress. And the gut feeling you get from it as well is that it's not right. It shouldn't be functioning either, because if there's nobody here, then where is it? What is fueling it? Because as a beacon, the people who live in the village, when their spirits turn to wild spirits, they usually, because of, the emotional attachment to your home, fuels a beacon to help other Abyssal find their homes. But there's nobody here, and yet this beacon is still active.
It's a ghost town.
And that's where I'm gonna call it.
Another cliffhanger.
Yeah, I love ending on cliffhangers.